Shri Sairam. We will start today's session with three Omkars. Om Shri Sairam. Offering our loving pranams at Bhagwan's lotus feet. Respected elders, brothers and sisters, Sairam to all of you. Welcome to this 28th edition of online Samarpan conducted by Sai students from Mumbai. Bhagwan has blessed Brother Litesh Majitia to share his experiences today. A brief introduction to our speaker for the day. Brother Litesh Majitia has been a Balvika student and has been an active volunteer in the Sai organization for the last 3 decades. There are certain moments that he has had with Bhagwan while doing duty in Swami's room in Mumbai, Hatshi, Latur, and Shimla. He has also been blessed by Bhagwan with numerous interviews, interaction, and experiences. By Bhagwan's direct guidance and blessings, he has been instrumental in executing several water projects across various villages in and around Mumbai, and thereby giving him a perspective of Bhagwan's immense grace. In his professional life, Brother Litesh Majitia is working with Bank of Baroda as a senior vice president and head of supply chain finance. He's been a seasoned banker with over 2 decades of experience. So may I now request Brother Litesh to share his experiences with us. Sairam.
Sairam Shankar,
Sairam.
and thank you for that introduction. And Sairam brothers and sisters, elders, my pranams to all of you. Privileged to be with all of you today to share Swami's experience and love for all of us here. Uh, so may I request Brother Mohan to start with a stotram where we remember Swami, and then I'll start with my experiences. So Brother Sai Mohan, please.
प्रशान्तितीर्थवन्दनं च राजुवंशनन्दनं समस्तलोकरञ्जनं नमामि सत्यसायिनम् मुखारविन्दसुन्दरं सुशोभिकौशिकाम्बरं पदाब्जचारुसञ्चरं नमामि सत्यसायिनम् सुकेशदीप्तिवेष्टितं मनोज्ञहस्तचेष्टितम् अभीष्टतुष्टिपुष्टिदं नमामि सत्यसायिनम् चमत्कृतिप्रकाशकं पदागतार्तरक्षकं क्षणाद्विभूतिसर्जनं नमामि सत्यसायिनम् सनातनप्रवर्तकं सुसत्पथप्रदर्शकं विनीतभक्तहर्षदं नमामि सत्यसायिनम् मनुष्यचित्तशोधकं प्रशान्तिसौख्यबोधकं चराचरादिपोषकं नमामि सत्यसायिनम् भवाब्धिभीतिनाशकं त्रिलोकशस्तनायकम् अलभ्यमुक्तिदायकं नमामि सत्यसायिनम् अनन्तमङ्गलाकरं प्रियङ्करं शुभङ्करं जगत्तमोदिवाकरं नमामि साईमीश्वरम् शरण्यसायिवन्दनं निरन्तरं च चिन्तनं निजात्मनो निवेदनं समर्पणं हि मोक्षदम् समर्पणं हि मोक्षदम् समर्पणं हि मोक्षदम्.
Thank you, brother. There's a beautiful stotram which is written by Shanti Bhavalkar's mother-in-law. And Swami has heard this and appreciated this stotram, and it touched my heart. So I thought I'll share with all of you. Avatar is one of the most important prolifics in human beings' life. And if we are born or anybody is born during the birth of an avatar, I think we must have done several punyas in our past lives to have been breathing the same air on this planet as he. And also, if we know that avatar is born and if we are in closeness to the avatar with darshanam, sparshanam, and sambhashanam, then be sure that we all are truly blessed by him. And I think that's true for all of us present here today. And his love has flowed immensely with all devotees in some form or the other. Many of the experiences that I will share today, you will be able to easily relate, because I'm sure many of you would have similar experiences, because his love transmits through every one of us, right? And hence, I thought of sharing some of the fortunate experiences that I had with Bhagwan. And hence, my topics today is omniscient, omnipresent, and omnipotent. Why did I choose this topic? When Avatar comes down to earth, in Vedas, it is described how can you recognize whether he is an avatar or not. So, Pramana, which Vedas proclaim that avatar is there or not for a man to know, is these three aspects. If a person has omniscience, omnipresent, and omnipotent, then know for sure that he is an avatar. And that's why uh, Swami says miracles are my visiting cards. He gives those experiences, shows us that miracles to make us these three facets of avatar: omniscience, omnipresence, and omnipotent. And my experiences will relate to each one of these three facets of avatar as we go on. Another Shamapna Stotra, which we have, which says, Anyatha Sharanam Nasti Tvameva Sharanam Mama Tasmat Karunya Bhavena Raksha Raksha Saishwara Raksha Raksha Janardana Raksha Raksha, whichever God you believe in, right? But my experience is that, so the stotram starts with Anyatha Sharanam Nasti Tvameva Sharanam Mama Tasmat Karunya Bhavena Raksha Raksha Janardana. So when we surrender ourselves, Anyatha Sharanam Nasti, fully and wholly and solely and dedicatedly, only then Avatar or God gives us that benevolence, is said in that shloka of Shamapna, that Anyatha Sharanam Nasti Tvameva Sharanam Mama Tasmat Karunya Bhavena Raksha Raksha Janardana. That Raksha Raksha Janardana we speak at the last. But my experience in many of the cases has been that Raksha Raksha Saishwara has taken place first, because पात्रता ही नहीं है ना इधर. We don't go to Sharanagati at all. We have our own logical thinking, our own logical mind, and especially me, I'm talking about myself. So there is no way that Avatar waits, and sees whether this guy is Sharanagati aata hai ki nahi, then I will protect him. But if you are to do that, he will not be able to protect us, because I am not even, doing Sharanagati to him. And that's where I'll start my first experience with. Uh, I came to Swami's Fort by his grace when I was a child, around 5 years. Started attending Bal Vikas with my guru Sima Acharya, my mother today. Uh, and the Bal Vikas classes were phenomenal and fantastic. It brought a lot of change in me. I was a very straightforward, simple student, not outgoing, not playing outside, attending Bal Vikas, attending school, and coming back. So that was my thing. But this mind was a logical mind. It would not accept anything very easily. It would need rational logics to explain. So, with this background of my nature, in many of the cases, it's still like that. But uh, with this background, I'll tell you what was my first reaction. So when Swami came to Mumbai in somewhere around 85 or 86, I don't remember the exact years. But at that point of time, I had beautiful darshans of Bhagwan in Dharmakshetra. And that time we were Balvikas toddlers, so we were taught slokas, stotrams, and given a special place above next to Anand Kutir. And that's where I saw Swami for the first time. And moment I saw for the first time, in photo, when anybody looks, he is so grand and so chubby and so so he looks tall in photograph. But when I saw him for the first time with my physical eyes in physical form, he was so frail and he was so thin and he was uh, my impression of Swami was that he will be Virat and all that, but he was like a human frame. So I was thinking in my mind, oh, I imagined Swami in a different way. But those darshans were obviously good, but nothing happened internally in the heart. Nothing. Really, I really enjoyed those moments. I had great respects, etc., but no devotion, no internal calling was not there. So 1988, I guess, was a Balvikas trip where our gurus took us to Puttaparthi, Simacharya, for the first time. And we were about, I think, 50, 60 students or maybe 100 students. And we got, and those days where there was no cycle one hall and there was a huge round just opposite to the mandir. And Swami used to stay in Prashantilam Mandir on the first floor, and we went during Diwali vacation times because that's when children will have a lot of vacation. So, and incidentally, like this year, I remember this year also because Diwali fell exactly on the day when Akhand Bhajans were there in Parthi. So that was our returning day after celebration of Diwali, and on Sunday night when the bhajans are over. Uh, so I was there, and our first darshan was there, and I was looking forward. First darshan that time we went by Udyan Express, landed at Dharmavaram, took bus and came to Puttaparthi. We were given accommodation in shed, and I was not used to having cold water bath and all that, so there was a huge challenge. And then we all were rushed, little toddlers we were. I was, I think, just 12 years old. Yeah, 12 years old. And we were rushed to the morning darshan. And that those days, we used to, Balikas Gurus woke us up at 3:30. So all could have bath, all could have white clothes and vibhuti stacked. And it was all organized. And then there was Nagar Sankir, Omkar Suprabhatam in Prashanti Mandir. Of course, children were not allowed, only above certain age, I think 18 years were allowed. So we did not go inside. And then we attended Nagar Sankirtan, and immediately we sat in the line, in a special line, which took us to a enclosure where Swami, Balvika's enclosure, where Swami will come for darshan. And along with us, there were many friends of mine who were there. Many of them were carrying Swami's photo, keychains, lockets, bracelets, etc., for Swami to bless. Some were carrying lockets, etc. And I was sitting in the darshan early morning, and Swami those days used to come very early, anywhere between 6:30 to 7 o'clock. Those were wonderful days, and there was no the sun rays directly fell on the ground where Swami used to come. So it was so beautiful, such a beautiful scenario. And first day Swami came out. When moment he came out, uh, that there was a striking of chord, and then I saw Swami first going to the ladies' side, talking, taking some letters, uh, giving. Somebody had brought chocolates, so on the ladies' side was spreading, giving those chocolate, throwing those chocolates, and then he came towards the gen side, and I saw him from a distance materializing vibhuti to somebody and giving. When he started materializing vibhuti, a thought came into my mind: "Ki boss, yeah, there is something wrong here. I know I can't believe that, because I told you my rational, logical mind will never not accept things easily. That's how Bhagwan has made me, and that's how I am." So immediately a thought came to my mind that how is this possible? Nothing. Let Swami come here, and if he and this is all going on in my mind, and all Balvika's children are there, and and I am sitting on the first line at the first enclosure, and next to me. So from my line, all the Balvika students of our group starts, and there are 10 rows ahead and 5 to 6 lines behind, like this. So entire enclosure, and just previous to me or next to me is where a foreigner is sitting. He seemed to be a German, very tall guy with a little bit of black beard, young one, but his eyes closed, even if Swami has come for darshan. And he was sitting in meditation with a pin drop silence. And when we sat for darshan before Swami came, there was chitter bitter because children, they will talk. I was silent, but others were talking. So he was probably getting a little disturbed, but he did not say anything. He was just calm, quiet, composed. And I was very astonished to see him in his complete equilibrium. He was. And then when Swami came and he did this act of vibhuti materialization at the other side to somebody, this thought came to my mind that how can he materialize and bring objects from thin air? And the next thought which came to my mind was, if Swami, if Bhagwan ko himmat hai, so let him come and materialize in front of me, and I know it's coming somewhere from here, so I will catch his hand, okay, and do all. So these are all thoughts coming to my mind. Then suddenly my conscious mind says, "Oh, what stupid you are! You should not think all this. God is there, this, that." So it's all dvanda going on inside, but logical mind is just not leaving me, right? So by the time all these thoughts are coming, Swami is continuing with his darshan, collecting letters, smiling at everybody, and he comes to us, and then looks directly to this foreigner who was sitting with his eyes closed. Even when Swami was near, he did not open his eyes at all. And then next look or a glance, he gave it to me. And moment he looked at me, he frowned very furiously at me. And then he looked at other students and he smiled and he did this gesture. Then he came very close to us and he collected. I had not carried anything, no letter, no. But others he were carrying letters, bracelets, etc. So Swami, some carried chocolates. So Swami took letters, blessed the bracelets, threw the chocolates, etc. And Swami was then moving forward. And his while moving, his robe just brushed uh, my leg that time, and he went ahead. So moment he went ahead, again this mind started thinking. This thought was there. देखा, डर गया ना, मेरे सामने मटलेज नहीं किया. So, and I know it is very stupid. I know I am feeling guilty also inside, but the mind is behaving like that, right? And it was like, what's what, where? And Swami had already walked about 3 4 steps ahead from our group. And moment I got this thought that देखा डर गया ना, he stopped, turned, stared directly at me. Generally, you know that Swami, once he goes ahead, generally will not come back. Generally, but he turned, looked straight at me, sternly, started walking towards me. My God, I was like shivering. I thought I'm going to get a tight slap from him, from everybody, in front of everybody. And I was like, not knowing. And I was like telling my mind, "You stupid mind, why did you think this?" It was like a lot of, and I was really kaap raha tha. I was really, shivering. And Swami came, stood in front of me, and he started slowly waving his hand. And when he was waving his hand position and my eye level at the same level. And this logical mind was still thinking that let me see where the vibhuti is coming from, in spite of all this. And I could see that the vibhuti, there was a block of vibhuti which was appearing from the center of his palm, slowly, slowly, a block of vibhuti, not the powder, the block. And then he took the block in his hand and crushed it. So I was like this all the time, and my eyes were on his palms. And I thought that he's going to give me vibhuti. So I opened my uh, hands like this, And at the same time, that foreigner who was sitting next to me, till all this time his eyes was closed. But moment Swami came back again and started materializing, he opened his eyes and he smiled and he was like this. My hands are like this, his hands are like this. And Swami has already materialized the vibhuti and he held the vibhuti in front of that foreigner's hands and not in front of me. So the foreigner took the entire vibhuti and Swami splashed the entire vibhuti in the air, not giving even a single kan. If you observe Swami, generally he will give and then he will around he will give, but he did not give a single kan of vibhuti to me. He just splashed it in the air, looked at me, smiled, and walked off. He had done two things, brothers and sisters here: crushed my ego to the core because of my thoughts that dar gaya na, right? At the same time, he was so benevolent that he removed my shanka, the doubt that I had, which was obstructing the faith that I should have for him, right? And second thing, what he did was he removed the doubt and he removed the ego also. Because had he given me that vibhuti, my ego would have shot to I don't know what level. So he ensured, and everybody, every friend of mine, Balvika student of mine would come. They saw that this has happened to Litesh, and everybody was laughing at me. So he ensured that I was crushed. So वो बोलते हैं ना, अन्यथा शरणम नास्ति. I did not do sharanagati, correct? But see his love, see his grace, see his infinite mercy. That had he not done that, that faith would not have uh, emerged in me. And today I don't know where I would be if that faith would not have been there. So it is only and only his grace and his karuna that uh, even though we doubt him, right? He's so uh, mother's love, you can say, that if I don't be in this person's life, then his life will be ruined. So even though he is not accepting me, let me bring him into my fold. And that's the beginning of my first testimonial of Bhagwan. And that's how Bhagwan pulled me towards that. And after that, after the darshan, those days Swami used to take people for interview, and we Balvika's children were allowed to go to the bhajan hall for the bhajan. And in that bhajan hall, we were just after the student singers, we were allowed to sit. And Swami came for bhajans and he sat on the chair and he was constantly staring at me, constantly. And I was unable to control myself with Ganga Jamuna flowing through my eyes. I do not know what happened, but he had uh, accepted uh, a, a small person, a person with a lot of ego, a person who had no um, patrata to be his devotee. He lovingly accepted it and melted that heart, a tender heart at that point of time, and all the logics flowed away. So that was the first experience in Puttaparthi. And uh, next day we were supposed to, I'm not next day, 3 4 days after. So the last day of the bhajan, Akhand bhajan was there. Swami, I remember still on that Saturday evening. Generally, Swami goes away up and then he doesn't come down. But this time, after this incident happened, Swami came at 8:30 in the night, and our bus was at 10 o'clock because we were not Sunday. We were supposed to start on Saturday. Sorry, the Akhand Bhajan. So at 8:30, I did not have dinner because I thought that if Swami comes, then I will have one last darshan and then leave. Those days, Udyan Express used to come to Dharmavaram at around 12:31 or 12 o'clock. I don't remember the exact time now. And 8:30, I was still there, and I said I will not. And all Balika student teachers had told us that 9:30 our bus will start. Will not wait for nobody. So everybody have your dinner and then come to the shed, so that from the shed the bus will start. But I was wanting to see if Swami darshan can be available. Generally, Swami does not come after he takes food inside the inter room in the evening when the Akhand Bhajan starts on Saturday, and then he goes up. Many times he has also come, but this time there were very few devotees. And again, this was not cycle one hall, this was that circle. And Swami came at around 8:15. And when Swami came, there were very few devotees, and he took a full round slowly, steadily, and he came towards our side. He saw me sitting, and again he smiled and he waved. I can still remember those beautiful darshan right in front of my eyes today. So uh, it was it was a moment of assurance from me that he has entered my life at that moment. And after that, till date, has been his grace flowing abundantly with both his hands. Uh, Again, without my patrata, only his anugraha and grace. That's how it is. So this incident also proves his omniscience, omnipotent, and omnipresence, isn't it, dear brothers and sisters? That he, uh, in the first instance of my Puttaparthi visit, he ensured that he gives me this uh, fantastic chance. Another incident similar to this, I would quote of brother Nitin, who is my brother here. It so happened that it was his birthday, 27th of September 2004, and Swami had called us for interview in Parthi. And Nitin had this because he was in the room duty. He had this discipline that unless Swami calls him for the interview, he will not come inside. So it was only me and parents and Neeraj, I think, was there or not. I don't remember, but yeah, uh, we were there. And then father happened to say to Swami that, Swami, आज नितिन का birthday है. अच्छा, मेरे को बोला नहीं. And Nitin was such a disciplined person, right? Or rather, is a disciplined person that he will never tell Swami when he's in room duty that Swami, today is my birthday and bless me or something. And he'll never do that. So Swami immediately got up, called him. I asked me to call him. So I called him, opened the door, interview room. मेरे को बोलता नहीं है तुम्हारा बर्थडे है. Swami then made him said, bless किया, बहुत किया, and then he complained to mother. ये मेरे को बहुत कुछ चीजें बोलता नहीं है नितिन. Swami is telling mother. वो उधर he didn't mention the year. Cement company. Swami used to call Siemens company as cement company. वो cement company में काम करता था. तभी भी वो बॉम्बे से बाहर गया और एक्सीडेंट हुआ. स्वामी को याद नहीं किया, बट स्वामी ने याद किया. Now, the real incident happened in 1992. It was again Bhagwan's exact date is 25th September, 25th January 2000. Sorry, 25th January 1992. And Swami was in Mumbai. And he was working for Siemens at that point of time. And he had to go to urgently Jaipur to commission a CNC machine, which was outskirts of Jaipur. And that time, because there was 26th January, there was some curfew. And on 26th January, he could not get even a vehicle to go. So the client came by a scooter and made him sit behind the scooter. And with two very heavy CNC bags, he went. And Jaipur, that outskirts of Jaipur was a very sandy area. And his scooter actually tumbled, and Nitin got hurt in his leg, right leg, and it became completely swollen and all that. So anyway, that incident, he did not remember really Swami, but Swami told in this interview room that वो उधर गया, स्कूटर का एक्सीडेंट हो गया और उसका उसने याद नहीं किया, but स्वामी ने याद किया, स्वामी ने ख्याल रखा. And he reminded that incident in this interview room after how many years? After 12 years, in 2004, on his birthday. And that too accidentally, when Baba told that, when uncle told that, his birthday, so he called him, and मेरे को बताता नहीं है. From that context, he told, not that anything was planned. So like that, Swami reveals his omnipresence and omnipotent at a lot of time as such. Uh, One thing that I wanted to share with you was that during our water project, correct? Uh, in this was again 22nd of August 2004. I will not forget that day. Uh, we had gone for an inspection to Karjat village where the water project was going on. And for this water project, Swami had actually guided us as to what to do, how to go about it, do the survey of the all the 7 hamlets, see what is the common problem, identify. So Swami had sent us for Gram Seva. He said, identify what is the common problem in all the villages, come back and report to me, and I will give you the job to do. And we did all that, and we prepared every house. We actually, that Satsai village integration program that Swami program gave to Hyderabad youngsters, right? uh, we got that entire sheet, and we went to every house in the hamlet, checked out how many children are there, how many women are there, how many men are there, what are they working, what is their daily wages, what is their common illness, what is the common illness of, what is that they want, how much is the. So all that chart was made and analysis was made and everything was complete. And Swami said, see, this main problem in this village is water, do a water project there. And that was really the problem, because the ladies had to actually, when we did the survey, the ladies had to come down 3 kilometers just to fill a pail of water, and then climb up, right? And when the ladies climbed up, what happened was, their whole day was spent in just fetching drinking water. So, and the husbands were going to normal job in Mathera, trekking and going to normal job or doing masonry work, etc. Children were helping mothers to fetch water and not, and bunking the school and not going to the school. So that was the second problem. Third, because of carrying such heavy load of water, they all had back problem, right? Third, skin diseases among children and women, and all the villagers were there because they used to not bathe properly because of the lack of water. So when we said, when we actually laid down the chart, Swami said, see, if you do water project, all these problems will be eradicated. One project and so many problems eradicated. And on top of that, what actually happened after the project was that the ladies started accompanying women, their husbands, for doing daily missionaries job, so that the economic income doubled for that village. So during one such inspection, when the pipeline laying was going on for the water project, some of us, Sridhar from Chembur, and couple of other volunteers like Hegde and others were there with me, and we were going for the inspection. So when we went and reached the village for the inspection, suddenly we were talking to the village, because this is a forest land, and through the forest land the pipeline has to go, and there's trenches to be digged, right? So if you actually go go in a proper permission way, then you have to get permission from central government to dig the pipeline, and that will not come for several years. Forget about anything, right? So we did not take any permission. We informed the Zilla Parishad office that, look, we are doing it for we are from Sai organization. Sai Baba has sent us here, and we are doing it because we want to help the villagers with water. And they said, नाही तुम्ही करा, काय हरकत नाही, आम्ही आहे तुमच्या पाठीशी, तुम्ही करा. So, but they said that it is not in our this thing to permission protocol to give you a letter. So you do it. We will see what. So we were doing it, and when we were actually going for got there to the village for inspection, everything villagers were doing. We had an engineer from Shapurji Palanji who was also talking to the villagers to uh, track the route of the pipeline, because it should be in such a way that the pump force should be enough for the water to lift up, right? And we did not harm a single tree, because it was all through the forest land, so no trees, no nothing. So actually there was no problem in it. But that day they came to know, because we were coming from several Sundays, so they came to know that the Sai volunteers are coming on Sunday. Generally forest rangers are closed, office is closed on Sunday, but they came on Sunday on their bike, 2 people. And they said, where is the permission? How can you do this work? So we said, सर आम्ही सत्यसाई ऑर्गनायझेशन वर मधून आहोत आणि बाबांना आम्ही इकडे पाठवलंय काम करायला. हे गरीब गोरगरिबांसाठी आम्ही पाणी देतोय. तर तुम्ही बघा, परमिशन तर नाही आमच्याकडे, पण आम्हाला हे काम करायला पाहिजे, नाहीतर पाणी पोचणार नाही. Then that forest stranger started shouting very rudely and loudly, and all the villagers were there, saying that how can you do this without permission? We don't know. We want a permission. Basically, the crux of the matter is that he wanted some bribe. So, and we are from Sai organization. We are doing Swami's work. There is no way in our professional life also either we can give bribe or accept bribe. So forget about Swami's work, right? There's no question of that. So we said, sorry sir, पर हे आहे आम्हाला करायला पाहिजे. नाही नाही नाही, तुम्ही काम आता 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 बंद करा आणि जा. So then I looked at the villagers. Villagers also shouted at the forest ranger that how can you, they are helping us to get water. किती वर्षापासून 50 generations of ours has not seen water on the doorstep at the house. And Sai Baba has come to help us, and you're not allowing. There was a lot of confrontation between the villagers and the forest ranger. So I immediately stopped them. I said, look, don't get into a tangle. Let us see what to do. We will go now. Don't worry. Uh, that's what I told the villagers. And I told, sir, सॉरी पण आम्ही विलेजर्स साठी करतोय. तुम्हाला शेवटदा विचारतोय की आम्ही कंटिन्यू केलं तर त्यांना पाणी मिळेल, आणि आम्ही गेलो तर त्यांना पाणी नाही मिळणार. तुम्ही जे सांगणार, व्हॉट एव्हर यू से वी विल डू. So he said, नाही नाही नाही, you should go, you should stop the work. Without permission, we will not allow you to work. I said, okay. So I looked at Sridhar, and Sridhar, what he is doing is he is pulling out a purse from his pocket. I am wondering, and I know Sridhar, he's a great guy, in very ethical in his professional life as well. Forget about anything else, right? And he's pulling out the purse, and I'm thinking that why is he pulling out the purse? And then slowly he took out something from the purse. So I thought he's pulling out money and giving it to them. So I looked at Sridhar very sternly without saying anything. And Sridhar just winked at me. And he got Swami's photo and Vibhuti out of his purse, which was in his purse, and he gave it to the forest ranger. Now, forest ranger also could not analyze what it is, whether it is money or what. So I don't know. He just took that whatever Sridhar was giving, Swami's photo and Vibhuti in his hand. Moment he took that photo in his hand and saw the photo, you should see his facial expression. 180-degree. He was like furious and angry and shouting. Moment he saw this all happening in fraction of seconds, okay? His facial expressions change, and suddenly he says, sorry साहेब, आमच्याकडून चूक झाली, तुम्ही काम करा, मी जातो. He kicked his bike. Both of them sat on the bike and ran like somebody's after their life. He never to return. And we were thinking, what happened to this guy just 2 seconds before touching the photograph? He was telling us to get out of here, and he only has ran away from here. So we were unable to understand. Then with the progress of the village, when I went next to Parthi with the album and Swami called me, I showed, I mean, that photographs of that forest ranger and everything was there. And then I was telling Swami, हमने ये किया, Swami, हमने ये किया. Now, mark my words and language. So stupid of me to say, Swami, हमने ये किया. Swami, हमने well बनाया है. Swami, dam बनाया है. Swami, इधर से pipeline लाया है. And then that photograph of that, I'm still remembering this in front of my eyes. And then that photograph came. Swami stopped and said, अच्छा, तुमने किया? So I stopped for a second. I didn't know what to answer. I said, नहीं स्वामी, सब आप ही कर रहे हैं. Then Swami pointed at that photograph of that forest where that everybody was there, and forest ranger was also there. ये आया था ना तुम्हारे पास? So because I was so engrossed with Swami and his explaining things. I did not realize which photo he was. So I looked at the photo then. Then instantly I remembered, Arey, this is the forest ranger. And I was so before I said anything about that forest, Swami said, ये आया था ना तुम्हारे पास, कैसा भाग गया, काम कौन करता है? And I could not stop my tears rolling down in that interview room. That not only ensures that he gives the opportunity to you to do his seva and hence redeem yourself, but moment you get unknowingly also a trace of ego that you have done it, he will put you in the right perspective for your own uddhar. That is Sai. This is Swami for us, friends. I think no amount of gratitude can explain his love, his grace, his glory, his being to us. And we don't know how much fortunate we are to get this avatar and his experiences as such. Another village episode, which many of you may know about the accident, is what I wanted to share with all of you again. Because this incident of forest ranger again shows his omnipresence and omnipotence, right? And the next incident which happened where we are all gone for Bhumi Puja, and after the Bhumi Puja, when we were returning, um, there was uh, Ajay Nair, myself, Datta Jadhav, Vikas Vanwari, and Venkat. All these three or these five people were there in the car. And incidentally, we started at after 4:30 because we had to wind up things. And so it was Sunday, Rahu Kalam, and we started. And Ajay and all were very tired because they had come previous day working for the entire Narayan Seva and all that. And I was coordinating for the buses, etc. So early morning I came. So Ajay told me, "Can you drive?" I said, "Okay, I'll drive." And I started driving, and the village roads are internally very bad. So I was driving very slowly. But then Ajay said, "Arey Litesh, you come here. I will drive because I need to reach early. I have to go home and." Maybe his wife has called or whatever, so they had to reach early. So by 6 o'clock, so I said, okay, you drive. Moment we came to the tarred road of that Mathiran road, which goes towards Karjat. It's fully wet and uh, it's rainy season, right? August, so it's fully wet. So Ajay started driving at on that narrow road with zigzag curves, and road is wet at almost 120 kilometers per hour. Ajay was driving seat. I was next to him in the front. Three people were behind. And what happened was first car came and the car slipped a bit. So I said, Ajay, be careful, yeah. We need to reach. He said, don't worry, yeah, I'm driving now. Typical Bombaya language, right? So second curve came again, a bit shift happened. Third curve came, and that was a steep curve. We lost our control. The left hand side of the vehicle wheel was completely out of road, and the whole vehicle completely topsy turvy. And tak, 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 almost half a kilometer there was a dun 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 bounce, and there were 150 boys and girls, I think, which we had got for the inauguration. They were coming from behind. I think Shankar also was there at that point, following us. And वो गाड़ी में एक सीडी बज रहा था जो आषाढ़ी का सीडी था, और उसमें वो गाना बहके मेरे कदम थे, ख्वाजा मोइनुद्दीन चिश्ती का गाना था, बहके मेरे कदम थे, मैं होश में नहीं था, सही राह पर चलूंगा, सही राह पर चलूंगा. That was the CD playing. And you won't believe, even after such a massive turn, and vehicle being topsy turvy, the top is at the ground and wheels are up, the CD is still playing. And the moment it slipped, I was holding and I said, Sairam, Sairam, Sairam. I was 100% sure these are last moments of our life, because only God can save us here, nobody else. And thar, 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 thar. Moment the car stopped with this topsy turvy, Ajay uh, asked her, "Is everybody okay? Is everybody okay?" So three people from behind said, "Yes, I'm okay. Yes, I'm okay. Yes, I'm okay." I was in kind of I don't know how to, shock, trance, whatever you want to call it, you can call it. But I could not respond, or I did not respond. I could just hear this song, बहके मेरे कदम थे, मैं होश में नहीं था, सही राह पर चलूंगा, सही राह पर चलूंगा. And I started laughing listening to that song. So people who are behind, like I think Jaishankar and the entire bus team, they came, they saw the accident, they said, "Yaar, ye to apna hi gaadi hai." They actually broke open the windows. Can I request Brother Simon to show the pictures of those cars, please? Yeah, so this was the status of the vehicle. It was completely topsy turvy. Next slide, next photo, Simon. And you can see the condition, and you can see the cars and our side devotees are cars of our side devotees only. You broken open the next slide, please. Yeah, I think this is the driver's side. You can see what is the condition. Is there the when this vehicle was actually towed to Mahindra workshop, they told us that साहब इसमें कितने आदमी टपक गए. That was the language of the workshop owner, and this was the condition of the car. Next slide, please. See the entire car topsy turvy. Next. And all these photographs Swami has seen personally. Huh? I can tell you that I've shown him in the interview room. So I'll tell you about this. Yeah, we can come back. Yeah, thank you, Simon. So this was the condition of that car, brothers and sisters, and it was uh, like, so I started laughing in the car, and then these brothers came and broke open the windows. They took out all the brothers, and I was the last one. And brothers were pulling my hand. I said, wait, and I was laughing. He said, they said from outside, you laugh later, you come outside first, because this car can catch fire anytime. So then I realized, so I was actually wearing the seat belt, right? So I unreleased the seat belt, and tabak, I fell because the seat belt was holding me topsy-turvy like that. And I crawled out, not even a scratch on my body. And all the other brothers, uh, not anything major. Brother Datta had a minor rib fracture here, which was there. And moment I came out, there was a ring on my mobile, and that was from my brother from Parthi, who was attending Swami at that point of time. And I took the call, and he said, "What happened to you?" I said, "Because I didn't want to share anything, because we are all right, and they will get worried, and parents should not know at home." So I was like, "Nothing happened." No. Swami just came and said, "वो तुम्हारा बॉम्बे ब्रदर उधर बॉम्बे में बड़ा एक्सीडेंट हो गया, पूरा कार उल्टा हो गया, and nothing to worry, I have saved them." I said, "What time did Swami tell this?" Now remember, I told you we started after Raukalam at 4:35. Those days, Swami used to come for evening darshan at around anywhere between 4:30 to 5 o'clock. This accident would have happened at around 4:45, 4:50. Swami came down at around 4:50, 55. And moment Swami came down in and told this to my brother, and he came out and went to Cyclone for darshan. He stepped back and he called me saying that this. So he said, "Abhi, just Swami came down and told me." So Nitin said, I was flabbergasted. I couldn't believe. And then I told Nitin, see, a minor accident has happened. It was not a minor accident. Believe me, you have seen the pictures. It was a very major accident, but nothing has happened to all of us. When Swami asks you again, you please convey my prayerful regards to him and tell him that I'll come to Parthi as soon as possible. These photos were clicked. I took the photographs, took the next flight before the next Sunday. Flew to Puttaparthi to pay him my obeisance and gratitude. And Swami called me in the interview room. There were other Italian devotees. And Swami saw the photographs. And Swami, I said, if you would not have been there, I would not have been alive today. And Swami showed my photographs to those Italian devotees. And he said, tell in English to them what happened, the entire story. So this is Bhagwan for us. What else can I tell you about his physical presence in our lives, that we all are so lucky. I'm sure he has touched every one of us in some or the other way, like this, right? So that was the most powerful avatar that we had. But I can tell you one more thing, brothers. Not that he's not there now. He is there very much, and I can feel his presence. I can tell you more than before 2011. Earlier, we used to feel Swami is in Puttaparthi, or he's in Vrindavan, or he's in Kodaikanal, correct? But Swami is there here and now with each and every one of us. And he is just there. No, if you just say Anyatha Sharam Nasti Twameva Sharanam Mama Tasmat Karunya Bhavena Raksha Raksha Saishwara, you see you will feel the presence of him at every moment that is difficult for you in your life. And that is what I have experienced. My first, I'll go back to the year 1996. My first year of experience has been uh, uh, my first interview rather uh, was in Kodaikanal. You know, it is the most beautiful place that Swami ever goes, and in that it is playground. So he plays with his children who takes them. And incidentally, Neeraj was there, and Nitin was not a student at that point of time. And Nitin, myself, mummy, daddy, everybody went to Kodaikanal because Swami had called us. He, he sent a word through Neeraj that college में बात करता है. We reached there, and my I mean, Swami called in the sense before Swami came, Neeraj picked up, parents and Nitin, and I was there sitting because I was not sure whether I should go or not. So Swami came. Swami asked, "Who is this boy?" And Swami said, "Call him also." So then I also went, and that was my first interview. In that first interview, uh, there were many people. Uh, Mrs. Mrs. Java, Rani Java was also there in that interview, incidentally, and I was very much scared of the physical form because uh, I had always worked with Indulal Shah, and he was a man of discipline in Dharmakshetra, and I used to. So I took the last roka, last bench in the interview room. I just wanted to observe what is Swami doing. Just that joy was enough for me. So Neeraj, parents, everybody was sitting, and next to me, Nitin was sitting. Then Swami talked to everybody, and then Swami asked Nitin, "What do you want?" So that time, Nitin had applied for MBA, but he got a reject card from the institute. So Swami said, "क्या चाहिए?" तो बोला स्वामी वो, and नीरज had already, and we all had told him that Swami पूछेगा क्या चाहिए, तो बोला स्वामी admission चाहिए और कुछ नहीं चाहिए. So he was also wanting because he wanted to, quit Siemens, and he wanted to be in Swami's aura at that point of time. So Swami said, admission, apply किया. So Swami knew that because Neeraj had told that Swami reject card आया. So he said, yes, Swami apply किया, but reject card आया. So yes, Swami apply किया. Then Swami said, Swami asked, cord आया, cord. The way he pronounces card is cord, right, Swami? So we did not understand. Nitin did not understand. So then Neeraj prompted that card आया is he asking. Swami, हाँ card आया, मगर reject card आया. Oh, Swami laughed like that. अच्छा, कोई चिंता नहीं करो, मैं परसों वृंदावन जाता है, तुम मेरे साथ आ जाओ, मैं देखता है क्या कर सकता है, मैं वाइस चांसलर से बात करता है. Very cutely he said that, and then because we were all behind, then he got up and he came behind. My palpitation was increasing when he came behind. And then he looked at me and said, "Kya boy, kya karta hai?" So then I responded, "तुमको क्या मांगता? क्या चाहिए?" So I said, "Swami, I just need your grace and I want to be instrument in your divine mission." So moment I said that Swami, I want to be instrument in your divine mission, Swami looked at me very sternly and said, "Instrument? मेरा कोई भी instrument नहीं." I was so shocked that I thought that Swami has rejected me completely and I'm not worthy of being his instrument. And immediately tears started rolling my eyes and Swami saw that. And then Swami came next to me, and that time there was a lot of hair on my head. So Swami pressed his hand very heavily on my head. And then he looked at Neeraj and he's still pressing that hand like that, his right hand. And he's talking to Neeraj and he says, "Tumhara instrument kya hai?" So he did not listen. Then he's telling me, "Iska instrument hai tabla." And he's laughing. So he thought that since I'm crying, I will. But I had felt so bad that I was not worthy of his instrument that he did not. So then he said, then he removed his hand. He said, "देखो रा, स्वामी का कोई भी instrument नहीं." And the next statement was, "I am your instrument, use me." At that point of time, when he said, "I am your instrument, use me," I couldn't fathom what he's telling me. But when I look back today, brothers and sisters, it is really so. Who are we worthy of his instruments? We have used him in all our things. You've seen my career, you've seen the accident story that I told you. Everything he has done it. So he is being instrument in our life to uplift ourselves, not only materially in the world that all activities that we do, but also spiritually. Every act, every word of his is so powerful. That time we may not realize it, but that was the power of his words. And today also we can't forget that I am your instrument, Swami says, use me. And then again he says to Neeraj, "Uska instrument tabla." He was just trying to laugh to make me. Then I reconciled and I said, "Okay, Swami is meaning something very hard, not that I'm rejected." But you see his love and grace, right? So profound. We don't even deserve it. But he ensures that an unworthy person gets his love and grace and he lifts him like nobody else, right? Today, if he was not there, I do not know what this life would have been, to be very honest. uh, it's 7:30 now. Should I take some more experiences or
You
should I
can,
stop here?
you
Yeah.
can take in 10
Okay.
15 minutes. Yes.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. So that was uh, his grace. Bhakti for him, no. Even if patrata is not there, if your heart is melted for him, is enough for him. But what he expects is he tests that bhakti to the core, Swami. And it is his right to do that because he wants to. If bhakti is not there, it is like water not there in the soil, so that the plant will not even come up. Right. So that bhakti, that love, moistness, that softness, that is there in the heart that he wants. So along with that softness, how he tests bhakti is also in a very different way. This is a very famous incident where Atal Bihari Vajpayee had come to Puttaparthi and when he was a prime minister, and Swami had called him for the interview, and some of the boys were there to serve him as such. In that, Atal Bihari Vajpayee was there, and he was a bachelor, all of us know, and he was a very spiritual person. So whenever Swami, he used to come to Swami, he used to ask about Swami, what is bhakti? Please tell me about how to achieve vairagya and all these, because he was a very devoted person. And Swami was all the time after he became the prime minister, was guiding him as to how to run the nation. So he was talking about all those right aspects, and Vajpayee ji was also listening, but his heart was more craving to get or use those moments from Swami to learn more about bhakti. So when Swami was talking about how to run the nation, what are the issues, how to tackle the issues, etc., Swami, he asked Swami, which may Swami stops, and then looks up, and that time he asked Swami, Swami, what is bhakti? Please tell me, Swami said, chup beto, bolta hai wo suno. And then he explained again about national interest and all that. So I was very keen that we bring this country to a different dimension or direction. So he was very keen that he understands what Swami wants him to do. So he was not at that point of time even interested in giving any spirituality to Vajpayee. He was only interested in national interest, and hence he was trying to take the talks in that direction. So whenever Swami used to, after 3, 4, after he thought that okay, now Swami is done with national topics and all, then he used to, Swami, please bolo na bhakti kya hai. So when second time he asked, Vajpayee asked, at the same time a boy came, because Swami and everybody were talking from a long time, uh, who was in the serving duty, with glass of water, two glass of water for the Prime Minister and Advani ji. So when he came, Swami looked at him. He's coming from that direction. So interview room is this, let's say, so this Swami's chair and Swami sitting here. Vajpayee is sitting on the opposite chair. The interview rooms, that kitchen parda is on the right hand side. So he comes with the tray, and at the same time, Atal Bihari Vajpayee is again asking Swami, please bolo na bhakti kya hai. And Swami looks at that boy and says, drop that tray. That boy, without even winking an eye, it was a glass, it was glass ka glass, okay? So when it drops, the glass can splatter and it can hurt Swami and the Prime Minister of India. He did not think any of these, right? If I were there, no, I would have definitely thought this, right? Because buddhi nahi hai na either, logical mind, no. So, but see the devotion of that student. He just, moment Swami said, drop the tray, third karke, he dropped the tray down. And the water splashed, some portion splashed on Vajpayee and Swami both, and there was all glass. And then all the commotion was over, everybody silenced, and everybody was looking at Swami. I said, this is bhakti. Implicit obedience is bhakti, Swami said. I'll repeat. Implicit obedience is bhakti, Swami said. Then Swami went on saying, bhakti is not only namasmarana, bhajans, kirtans, service. This is not only bhakti, these are parts of bhakti. But the real bhakti or the testimonial of bhakti is implicit obedience to his words at that point of time. What a powerful message. I still get goosebumps when I hear this, right? I am not yet gone into that implicit bhakti, and I'm praying that we all uh, can get into that implicit bhakti. But this is what is Swami's expectations about bhakti or implicit bhakti as such. But at the same time, he does not want us to get afraid of us. He wants us to evolve ourselves with the heart. It was my first duty at Satyadeep when Swami had come to Bombay, and I had done earlier Anandpuri duty outside EHV mein and other places in Dharmakshetra was there, stage mein. But Satyadeep duty is like, there are only 2 or 3 people maximum in that entire building, and Swami. And that also 2 or 3 people are who Satish Bashrood at that point of time, a great personality, one more volunteer, and me. And there are two sides of Satyadeep, right? All of us know that. First side is towards that Anand Kutir, where Swami comes and goes. And other side entry is where the devotees come for prayers in that hall, correct? So we had worked day and night, and we had actually given our, I mean, whole body was paining. It was like that, you know. And I was so afraid of that Satyadeep duty because Indulal Shahji was extremely strict, but he had, I mean, we had a very good, I mean, I had Dubai because he knows the discipline and all that. So he had instructed me, so blah, blah, blah. I said, sir, so two volunteers means one volunteer has to stand on the Anand Kutir side. And that volunteer was very eager to stand that because Swami will come and go from there only. And I was eager to stand on the opposite side because I didn't want to face Swami because I was so scared. This was way back in 95, if I'm not mistaken, right? So I was so scared of Swami, a physical Swami as such. So uh, every tayari was done. Swami was supposed to land at about 10 o'clock and arrive at Dharmakshetra at about 11 o'clock in the morning. And every tayari was done. His room was pick and span, interview room, washrooms, everything arranged, everything guest, everything perfectly all right. And there is a curtain. Even now, there is a curtain between that lift door where the hall is there. And so I said, with Vinod bhai, आप उधर रहो, मैं इधर रहता हूँ और मैं उधर ही आऊंगा नहीं और मेरे को कुछ बात. So he was happy. I was also happy. So he let him. I thought, Swami has come morning flight and then Swami will come. He'll go up and वो दिन तो निकल जाएगा कैसे वैसे करके. So I shut the curtain and I was trying to check out whether Swami's car has come and entered Dharmakshetra or not on the phone, etc. And I was walking here and there. Nobody except me, nobody in that hall. That side, nobody except this thing. Even Satish Basrur was standing at the Anand Kutir side because Swami to welcome Swami, right? So I was not there. So now, what Swami did? I was just praying that Swami. So I heard that Swami's car noise is coming and those Sai Ram shouts are from Jalan Mandap is there. It's such a brawl of enthusiasm and that those moments I do not know how it come again, but those moments were so divine, so energetic, so powerful, so loving. So and that palpitation of Sai Ram मेरे को इधर increase हो रहा था at that point of time because that point of time मन में क्या है, अरे सब कुछ बराबर है कि नहीं, कुछ मिस आउट तो नहीं हो रहा है, स्वामी का ग्लास फुल है, everything of that sort is coming right in my mind. So everything, and I'm moving here and there, and then I kept the phone on, and I heard Sai Ram, and Swami has come. So I just chant Sai Ram, and I was moving, and curtain closed. So Swami will come like that. Curtain closes, so generally Swami is traveling from such a distance. So generally he wants to use the washroom. So he'll first go up and not do anything. So I was pretty sure that nothing will happen. He'll go and come. So then I could hear Satyadeep doors, and I could hear some Keki Mistry voice, and then I could hear Indulal Shah's voice, and then I could hear finally Swami's voice. Of course, he was talking. क्या है दुलाल कैसा है something like that I could hear. I got so I was just still moving and the curtains were closed, this curtain, and then suddenly everybody, that noise stopped and the lift noise came. So I thought that now the doors are open and Swami has gone up. So I was moving aram se. Sairam, one session is done. There are Swami is hardly there for 5-6 days, and 5-6 days may you have 3-4 sessions, one morning session, one afternoon, so and one evening session. So like that 4 sessions you will see Swami going up and down. So एक session अच्छी तरह से पार हो गया. Swami please आप ही ध्यान रखना ऐसा करके. So I was going this side and my back was towards the curtain, and I was going, and suddenly I hear a voice, Bhau! And I said, Sai Ram karke, and I turned behind and I see Swami and his entire halo hair. And only Swami, nobody is there. Only Swami, because all of them are just behind the curtain. And he said, Bhau! How are you? And I said, Sai Ram. And Swami laughs and I laugh, and that entire tension, Swami broke in 2 seconds by doing that, because I had to perform Satyadev duty for 5 days. And if I were tense, I wouldn't be able to enjoy that duty. So he had to do this for me to ensure that I relax and I take it easy, and I, be with him in his presence and still do the job properly like a loving mother. So he broke that barrier. Then Swami said, Tisco. So he gave me Padnamaskar, good boy. And then he went in the lift. And so when he's strict, implicit obedience, he wants obedience also. But he's such a lovely mother like this. He will do all this to make you so comfortable, so divine, right? So it's both sides of the same coin as such. So so that is uh, what I wanted to kind of. There are many such instances, but I think it's already 7:43, and I wouldn't want to breach the timeline. So Shankar, over to you.
Sarah Nitesh Bhaiya, thank you for such a wonderful experiences, because for us, how Swami gives the love and affection, I think you have very well explained, starting from the Vibhuti incident, how Swami instills faith in all of us, be it the 2004 incident wherein he tells your father about the how Nitin brother was there in Siemens company, or be it the forest ranger incident which happened, or be it the miraculous incident of Mahendra, when the accident took place and Swami immediately tells Nitin brother about you, or the main, I found the most important incident is that I am your instrument, you use me. That is one of the key incidents which Swami really instills that faith that he is always there for us and he is doing everything through us. And the last one, obviously, the tray incident, how we have to have that one pointed single devotion without any questioning to God. We surrender ourselves to God, and definitely Swami is there with all of us. And the Dharmakshetra incident, which you told all of us, absolutely, brother, this was a fun and enjoyable session wherein we could go back to the days along with you and get those joyous moments with Swami himself. So, brother, there are few questions which have been asked. I would like to just ask some of them to you. So one of the questions which had come was, Sairam, can you please share your experience with Swami linked with a particular bhajan?
I'm sorry, brother. I'm not recollecting any such. But after this session, I can assure you that I will play one bhajan which is sung very beautifully, and Shantakaram. That if you just uh, recapitulate all these experiences that I shared with you and hear that bhajan, you will experience Swami here and now. But in every bhajan, and as I told you, my first visit, it was Akhand bhajan. So in Parthi, right? And those bhajans were divya. I mean, divya. So and as I told you, Swami came at 8:15 in the night that day when we were supposed to leave, and
Yes.
Swami looked at it. So that is one of the best reminiscence of Akhand Bhajan that I have. Every time I attend Akhand Bhajan anywhere in the world, Bombay, anywhere, I remember I close my eyes to any of the bhajans that Shankar and all the you brothers sing so beautifully, and I recapitulate those moments of Swami. So that is it.
Thank you, brother. One more question which was asked is, how should we remain in tune with Bhagwan, especially during this testing times when Bhagwan's physical form is not available with us?
Beautiful question, sir. Yeah. So I'll take few moments here, and I want to kind of dwell on this, right? And this is very important question. Actually, brother, I also had the same thing. 24th April 2011. I did not know that how we will live after Swami, right? And how, I mean, this there was no purpose to this life, in a sense. So, and I actually dwindled over it for the next 2 to 3 years. Went to various ashrams, may it be Art of Living, may it be Jaggi Vasudev, may it be Srimad Raj Chandra Dharampu, to find answers, not to find a guru. How do you sustain without guru? How will you sustain without your mother? So, and those were the difficult times, and that's where I got more and more into uh, ingrained into spirituality. And one thing which I started getting experiences, that Swami is there just next to you. It is how you do your chitta shuddhi to ensure that you can experience his presence next to you. That is very important. So texts like Vivek Chudamani, texts like Yoga Vashishta, texts like um Upadesha Sastri, texts uh, uh, Uddhav Gita, texts like Gopi Geet. I do not know you guys have heard Gopi Geet or not, but please do hear Gopi Geet of Pujya Shri Ramesh Bhai Oza. Uh, it's available on the YouTube, and probably I'll forward it to Shankar or Abhinav or you, and you can forward it to the rest if you have this. Or you can just write Gopi Geet by Pujya Shri or by Rakesh Bhai Ramesh Bhai Oza. It's just a small 18-minute, 20-minute video. What is Gopi Geet about? You know, boss. Gopi Geet is about when when Lord Krishna goes away from them, correct? And Uddhav comes to explain that why he has gone away. And gopis at that point of time, I would not be wrong if I say give galis to Uddhav and to Lord Krishna. उसमें एक स्तोत्रम है, एक बहुत ही बढ़िया स्तोत्रम है. He says, and the meaning of that is that tava kathamritam tapta jivanam, right? Your katha is मेरे जीवन को तृप्त करती है, correct? Your katha, your stories, your reminiscences like this, right? तृप्त करती है. But यही सेम कथा हमको जीने भी नहीं देती, मरने भी नहीं देती. This is what Gopikas tell Uddhava. You please tell your Lord Krishna that you spent such a loving time with us, okay? But we can live our entire life remembering those beautiful incidences and rasilas that we did with you, right? And it will not allow us to die. But your viraha, matlab, it will not allow us to stay alive also. That is our condition. We are neither here nor there. So then, and you must hear this from Ramesh Bhai Ozaji's mouth, such beautifully he has explained. And then he says that every gopi after that got his Krishna besides him. Every gopi could experience Krishna besides. So these are the things, the way to get connected to him, my dear brothers and sisters, is what my feeling is, that be in satsang always, whether this Samarpan session, such a beautiful, we all can get connected. I'm thankful to all of you, in fact, Shankar, and all the listeners also, because of you, I'm able to revive this memory. Otherwise, if this session was not there, I would have been doing something else, and I would not have got these experiences and this so beautiful feeling inside again to live with Swami. So satsang's very important to be in touch with Swami. Reading of spiritual scriptures, whichever, see, everybody has a different connotations. Somebody likes bhajans. If you can get connected with bhajans, please hear bhajans. Somebody likes to do books, some read books of Swami or any other text, Shankaracharya text, Aditya Shankaracharya text, do that. Visit to holy places, tirtham, with a bhavana that, uh, this was Lord Krishna's place or Lord Rama's place. A beautiful Ayodhya temple is coming up, right? And that Ayodhya temple, once it is ready and Corona is done, I think we all should visit. So that will get connected, because that Janma Bhoomi, why we visit Puttaparthi, that Janma Bhoomi these spiritual vibrations or places have different. We went to Kailash Manasarovar in 2019. What a wonderful experience to get connected to Swami, right? So these are the things. Your aim should be to get in touch with him always as much as possible, and he will ensure that he is present with you at every moment. At every moment. If you remember only him only in difficult times, also he will be present. But if you Anup Jalota ka gana hai na ke, if you remember in good times, why will the bad time comes? But even if bad times comes, you will not realize it is a bad time. That is what is my experience. I was a classic case of losing my physical parents, uh, and studying at that point of time, having nothing in debt, and today. So for me, Bhagwan has given everything: life, career, worldly to diya hi hai, but spiritual upliftment also. Because remember, Avatar is a very avatar, and remember him, he will be present next to you. Impossible things will happen. Whether I'm talking about Bank of Baroda now, after his physical as any damn sankat has come, he has resolved it, and that is the experience. So just pray for him and all of such a beautiful work of sorry, I lost you guys in between. So that is what it was.
Brother, just last question. I thought I would definitely ask you
Am I
this.
audible?
Yes, yes, brother. You're there, audible.
Yeah,
So just a
yeah.
last question, which I found it
Yes, please. Yeah.
honestly to ask you. Though you did not study at Swami's college, you still enjoyed his grace like his own student. How can we become his students even though we do not get an opportunity to study at Prashanti Nilayam?
Uh, Again, a very good question, and I'll tell you, uh, Swami students are definitely the blessed ones, chosen ones. His property. Swami used to say, "My students are my properties." But what is the real meaning of students, right? Swami, and I'm sure Shankar and others can answer this much better. But I'm just saying that uh, students are, Swami says, students are my properties. Properties is proper ties. What is proper ties? Are we craving for that tie with him, that connection with him, right? And if we do that, whether he talks to us physically or not, his experience, his anubhuti will be definitely there. I always was telling Swami after my certain career period is over that now enough of this corporate world. I want to come and settle down in Puttaparthi. Every time Swami will say, "Abhi thoda kaam karo, Bombay mein, बाद में Swami बुलाता है." Every time he'll say this, right? But 6th May 2010, this is just about 8 months before, 8 or 9 months before Swami, or 11 months before Swami actually took Samadhi. Uh, he told me about my brother, younger brother, what is he doing, how I should fulfill my responsibility to get him married, etc. Right? And then November 2010, Samarpan program was there in Puttaparthi. It was called Samarpan or something, some S name only, where students and students' parents, Swami used to call in Purna Chandra and give darshan, right? So that time he told my mother, and my mother told Swami remembered me and said, "वो Bombay boy कैसा है?" And Swami, uh, mother said, "Swami fine. He wants to come and settle down like Nitin Neeraj in Puttaparthi. So please call him." That time Swami said, "अब कैसा बुला सकता है?" All these years, he always used to say, "थोड़ा काम करो, Swami बाद में बुलाता है." But in November 2010, he said, "अब कैसा बुला सकता है?" First time. This question would have been put to him that Swami kabhi bulata hai, 50 times at least in various last 2002 to 2010. But This was never he said कि अब कैसा बुला सकता है, but November 2010 he said अब कैसा बुला सकता है उधर. There is a meaning whether he's left his body, there is a meaning whether we are a student or not. But one thing is there, we can get connected to him whether we are a student or not by our heart. It's a heart to heart connection. Students get that privilege because of Purva Janma Sanskaras, Purva Janma Ashirvadas, physical presence. We may or may not have that, and that's not our, we cannot do anything about it, whether I'm not a student. But still he ensured that when my mother, physical mother, expired in 2002, he called me and my brother and said, stay in the hostel in Vrindavan, attend the summer course. He called Narsimurthy at that point of time and said, please take care of these two children. They are my boys and they are my children. He called Amma, my Sima Acharya, and said, these are my children, take care of them. Correct? So he is mother to everybody, whether we are student or not. It is just the way we get connected to him is what I was ended.
Thank you so much, Ritesh Bhaiya, for sharing all your thoughts with all of us. We definitely had a very good session today with you. Thank you once again. We would like to end this session with Samasta Loka Sorkino Bhavantu.
Abhinav, can I request you that before you end with Samasta Loka, can I request Sai Mohan to play that bhajan for 3 minutes and then we can.
Yeah. Sure. Bhaiya.
So I request to everybody is close their eyes and listen to bhajan, or you can open your eyes and see the video also. But see whether you can experience Swami in this. Saira.
शान्ताकारं साईदेवं साक्षात्कारं परब्रह्म शान्ताकारं साईदेवं साक्षात्कारं परब्रह्मम्.
Saram, we'll end this session with Samastaloka. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu समस्तलोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोका सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय। साईं राम।